Three men, black SUV. A woman leaving her apartment building with coffee in hand. Then, the crack, like thick wood snapping clean in half. Her scream tears through the quiet morning as they twist her arm 45 degrees past where bones should bend. The coffee cup shatters against pavement. She drops to her knees. The leader leans close, his voice cold, mechanical. Stop feeding the FBI information. Next time, it's your neck. They disappear into the SUV, tires screaming, gone in 11 seconds. But freeze that frame, right there. The man holding her arm. See his wrist? That watch catching the streetlight? FBI standard issue. Tactical operations grade. The people who broke her arm weren't criminals. They were federal agents. But this story doesn't start with violence. It starts 11 months earlier, in a different world entirely. Picture it. A marble lobby. Glass towers reflecting soul-level money. The kind of corporate headquarters where assistants are furniture. Executives stride past the reception desk without a glance. Just another assistant. Invisible. Forgettable. They looked through Elena Torres like she was glass. Present but empty. There but not worth seeing. And that's exactly what made her dangerous. 8:47 a.m. every single morning. The elevator chimes, that specific ding that signals the boss is 30 seconds away. Espresso machine hissing, dark roast cutting through the air, mixing with his expensive cologne. Leather briefcases dropping onto marble desks with that specific thud of power. Floor-to-ceiling windows catching morning sun like mirrors. Glass towers everywhere. Everything reflecting, nothing revealing. Elena's fingers traced the cold marble of her desk, the heat from the espresso cup warming her palm. But her mouth? Dry. Metallic taste of fear coating her tongue every single morning. And Mr. Kovac's eyes, ice blue, calculating, seeing everything and revealing nothing, scanning her face every time she handed him that perfect cup. This was her routine, her prison, her mission. Because here's what those executives didn't know, what Mr. Kovac didn't know, what nobody suspected. Elena Torres wasn't just a receptionist. She was FBI Special Agent Elena Torres, 23 years old, top of her class at Quantico, embedded undercover in the most dangerous assignment of her career. That espresso she made? Cover for photographing classified documents. Those filing runs? Opportunities to plant surveillance bugs. That perfect invisible assistant routine? A weapon. She wasn't serving espresso. She was serving justice. And that broken arm 6 months later? That was the price of getting too close to her target. Too good at her job. Too dangerous to the wrong people. Mr. Kovac's voice. You need to understand it to understand everything that comes after. Commanding. The kind of voice used to immediate obedience. Cold authority that made hardened criminals look away. When he spoke, rooms went silent. When he gave orders, people moved. And Elena? She kept her voice steady. American accent clear and professional. No tremor. No fear showing. Yes, Mr. Kovac. Right away, Mr. Kovac. I'll handle that, Mr. Kovac. The perfect power dynamic. Boss and subordinate. Him giving orders, her following them. while she photographed everything he touched. But there was one rule he never broke, not once in 11 months. Mr. Kovac never used first names. Assistants were Miss Torres, you. Sometimes just a gesture, never Elena. Until the morning, everything changed. Until the morning he saw her broken arm and the mask he'd worn for 15 years shattered in a single second. Everyone thought they knew this story. Undercover FBI agent versus Mafia boss. Target and operative. Good versus evil. Clean badges hunting dirty money. They were wrong. This was corruption so deep it infected both sides. Betrayal wrapped in badges. A conspiracy where the good guys became the monsters, and the criminal became something else entirely. When that arm broke at 6:18 a.m., when that FBI tactical watch gleamed in the streetlight, when Elena walked into Kovac Industries bleeding and broken at 8:39, it exposed a truth that would destroy everything. Sometimes the criminal you're hunting is cleaner than the handler sending you orders. Sometimes the person you trust most is the one who'll break you to keep their secrets safe. Sometimes justice wears the wrong face, and you don't realize it until you're on your knees with your arm twisted past breaking, staring at an FBI watch on your attacker's wrist, understanding, finally, devastatingly understanding, that you've been the weapon all along. Before we show you how a receptionist's desk became a battlefield, how coffee runs became combat, how trust became the deadliest weapon of all, drop a comment. Have you ever trusted the wrong person? Have you ever realized too late that the hero was the villain? And if you need to know which side was really dirty, if you need to see how deep this corruption goes, if you can't walk away from this story now, hit subscribe, because what you're about to witness destroys everything you think you know about justice. The truth is so much worse than you imagine. And it starts with a broken arm, an FBI watch, and a woman who's about to discover that the man she was sent to destroy might be the only honest person in this entire conspiracy. Let's rewind to where it really begins, to the moment Elena Torres became someone she didn't recognize, to the 11 months that would cost her everything, including the certainty that she was fighting for the right side. 23 years old, youngest undercover operative in the FBI's Organized Crime Division. And every single morning, Elena lived 3 separate lies. 6 a.m., 47 minutes before Kovac arrived. That's when the real work began. Surveillance bugs hidden in air vents, cameras disguised as smoke detectors, recording devices planted inside leather-bound books nobody ever read. During coffee preparation, she was photographing classified documents with a camera hidden in her watch. 3 layers deep in deception: fake background, fake personality, fake loyalty. And somewhere in all that pretending, a terrifying question started whispering in her mind. In his world, assistants don't have names. We're furniture. That invisibility, that was my weapon. But here's what the FBI didn't prepare her for. She was trained in surveillance, cryptography, hand-to-hand combat. She could read micro-expressions, knew 16 different ways to hide recording devices. She was a special agent, not an intern, not a trainee. She wasn't waiting for rescue. She was gathering evidence to save others. But every morning, making his coffee, she wondered, am I becoming what I'm pretending to be? The fear grew louder. What if I forget which side I'm actually on? My real name, My fake name? Some days I couldn't remember which one to answer to. And then there was the phone. Old flip phone. Screen cracked. Hidden in her desk drawer. Number unknown. She never answered it. Just checked if it had rung. Every day. The same ritual. Looking for a call that never came. The phone sat silent, waiting, like a loaded gun no one knew existed. She didn't know it yet, but that phone would prove her handler was the real criminal. But that revelation was still months away. For now, she had a job to do, target to surveil, evidence to gather, coffee to make at exactly 8:47 a.m., and a growing feeling that something in this mission was very, very wrong. Here's what you need to understand about Kovac. 15 years in this life. He trusted exactly 3 people. Marco, his lawyer, his accountant. That's it. Doctors said he'd developed hypervigilance so severe his nervous system rejected human connection. Touch made him flinch. Direct eye contact triggered fight response. He'd been betrayed by 17 undercover agents before Elena. 17 people who'd gotten close, won his trust, then tried to destroy him. So he built walls, high enough that even he forgot what was inside. He'd given up on genuine connection entirely. And then, day 47, she did something no one had done in 15 years. He walked in at 8:47, like always. She handed him his espresso, like always. But this time, she hesitated. "Sir, I need to remake this." He looked at her. Actually looked. First time in weeks. "What's wrong with it?" "The blend. It's not your usual. Someone switched it." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. "You're certain?" "Yes, sir. The color's off. Arabica versus your usual Sumatra. I'll make a fresh cup." She took it back, made a new one, handed it to him 3 minutes later. He accepted it. His hand trembled, just slightly, holding the cup. Not from fear. From hope he didn't know he still had. Because here's what Elena didn't know. That switched coffee contained a slow-acting poison, meant to look like a heart attack within 48 hours. She'd just saved his life, without knowing it, without trying, just by paying attention. This has to be part of her cover, he thought. But no, she doesn't know about the assassination attempts. She just cares about details. Something cracked inside his chest, something he'd built to keep himself alive. Am I imagining this, or is she actually present? For the first time since becoming Kovac, someone watched him carefully enough to notice a detail that small.
He wanted to thank her, properly, but revealing why would expose the assassination attempt, the weakness, the danger. So he just nodded. "Good eye, Miss Torres." Then her phone vibrated, screen lighting up. Contact name, Mom. She glanced at it, then at him. "I'm sorry, sir. I should—"
"Take it."
She excused herself. Bathroom break. And for the first time in 11 months, she'd taken a personal call during work hours. His instincts screamed warning. He pulled up security footage, watched her in the hallway, listened through the bug in her phone he'd planted 3 months ago. Her handler's voice came through crystal clear. "Meeting status update. Now." What he saw next made his blood freeze, because that mom contact traced back to FBI headquarters. His receptionist wasn't what she seemed. And somehow, impossibly, that made him want to protect her even more. Day 73. Marco walked into Kovac's office at 7 a.m. with bad news. "Boss, the senator's here. 30 minutes early for your meeting." Kovac didn't look up from his computer. Surveillance footage of Elena's apartment building. She'd worked until midnight last night. "Reschedule." "Sir?" "She needs rest. Reschedule everything." Marco stared. In 9 years working together, Kovac had never, not once, canceled for anyone. "Boss, I've never had an assistant who actually gives a damn before." The words hung in the air, truth too dangerous to speak aloud. 8:39 a.m. Elena arrived. On time despite the exhaustion carved into her face. She saw the empty waiting area. Frowned. "Sir, where's the senator?" "I canceled today's meetings." "I'm fine. I can work." He stood, walked around his desk. Closer than he'd ever been. "This isn't negotiable. You're taking the afternoon off. Paid." A mafia boss, begging his receptionist to rest. Power reversal complete. She tilted her head, that knowing look. "Mr. Kovac, in 11 months, you've never once asked about my personal life. Why are you suddenly concerned with my sleep schedule?" His ears burned, actual heat rising. "I'm not concerned. I'm ensuring optimal employee performance." Her smile, knowing, dangerous. "Sir, I've seen your file on me. You know my entire medical history, my mother's chemotherapy schedule, my college GPA." She stepped closer. "This isn't about performance." Silence, heavy, charged. The air between them crackling. He could lie, should lie. Instead, "You're right. This isn't about performance." Day 89. Flimsy excuse. "I need you to review this contract language." Reality. Legal team had reviewed it twice already. He stayed 40 minutes, discussing nothing important, just being near her. Marco raised an eyebrow from across the office. Day 104. Unprecedented. Kovac abandoned a board meeting mid-presentation. Reason given? Elena mentioned an issue with the filing system. Reality? No issue existed. He came to her desk personally to supervise reorganization. Office emptied at 6 p.m. They stayed until 8. Alone. Finally. His voice, quiet in the empty space. "Do you ever wonder what life would be like if we weren't this?" Her heart stopped. This? Whatever this is, boss and assistant, but something else too. The question hung between them. Dangerous, impossible, real. She opened her mouth to answer. Day 127. Marco burst in. "Sir, we should evacuate. Volkov's men spotted outside the building. This isn't safe." Kovac didn't move. "Elena's still inside. We're not leaving without her." "Boss, I said we're not leaving." He waited, personally escorted her to the armored vehicle. Inside, surrounded by bulletproof glass and armed guards, she asked, "You stayed for me?" His voice, raw, unguarded. "I'd burn this whole city down before I let them touch you." And Elena's internal crisis screamed, "I'm FBI. He's my target. Why does this feel real?" The flip phone, unknown number, ringing, right there on her desk. in front of Kovac. She froze. I should take this. His eyes narrowed, suspicious. You never receive personal calls. It's my mother's doctor. The lie tasted like poison in her mouth. She stepped away, answered. Her handler's voice, sharp. You're getting too close. Pull back or we're pulling you out. She hung up, returned to Kovac. Him, watching her face with those ice blue eyes. Everything okay? Everything's fine. But what she didn't know, he'd already traced that call, and the number belonged to FBI headquarters. The game was almost over, and neither of them knew who would survive. Late night, office empty. Chinese food from containers spread across his desk. Two people, sharing a meal, pretending this was normal. She asked the question she'd been avoiding for months. Am I betraying the FBI by caring about him? Can I arrest someone I'm starting to trust? What happens when the mission ends and he discovers everything was a lie? Which Elena is real, the agent or the woman falling for her target?
Kovac set down his chopsticks. You know what's funny? In my world, they see the monster first, never the man underneath. Elena looked up, met his eyes. In mine, they see the badge first, never the person wearing it. Pause. Heavy. Understanding blooming like poison flowers. Maybe that's why we understand each other. We're both performing roles we can't escape. Her thought, unspoken. Except mine is literally a performance. And when you find out, but for those 30 minutes eating bad takeout, they weren't boss and operative. They were just them. Marco crashed through the door. Boss, FBI traced one of our wire transfers. Elena's blood froze. She'd made that trace happen 3 days ago. Kovac, deadly calm. Handle it. They're getting close. We have a leak somewhere. Kovac's eyes scanned the room, landed on Elena. Just a second too long. Her heart hammered. He knows. He has to know. But he looked away. Triple check, everyone. I want the leak found. Marco nodded, left. Silence. Suffocating. Elena. His voice, soft, lethal. You've been with me 11 months. Do you trust me? The impossible question. She opened her mouth to answer. Her phone vibrated. Message from handler. Extraction in 48 hours. Mission complete. Get out now. Everything she'd built, everything she'd risked, everything she'd started to feel. 48 hours. Then it would all be over. One way or another. Rooftop. Across the street. Sniper scope. Crosshairs on Elena's desk. Volkov's man on encrypted phone. Target confirmed. Kovac's receptionist. He visits her desk 17 times daily. Pause. This is his weakness. Order given, ice cold. Don't kill her. Break her. Send a message. Make Kovac feel powerless. Timeline? Tomorrow morning, 6:18 a.m., outside her apartment. Morning. Sunrise painting the sky pink. Elena leaving her building, coffee in hand. Normal Tuesday. Then, screeching tires. 3 men. Black SUV. Grab. She could fight. 15 ways to disarm them. FBI combat training kicked in automatically. But fighting exposes her cover. Screaming brings police, reports, questions, investigation. So she made a choice. Coffee cup hitting pavement, glass shattering,
strong hands grabbing, morning joggers running away, leather gloves, cologne, gun oil, cold pavement against her knees, arm twisted behind her back. She bit her lip, tasted blood, wouldn't scream, wouldn't give them satisfaction. Then, twist. 45 degrees of torque. Snap. The sound of bone breaking, like thick wood splitting clean. Leader's voice in her ear. Tell your boss to stay in his lane. Next time we take something he can't fix. They released her. She collapsed. But as they left, sunlight caught something. One attacker's wrist. FBI issued tactical watch. Standard issue for field operatives. And in that moment, bleeding on the pavement with her arms screaming, Elena understood. This isn't Volkov's style. Too theatrical. Too personal. Her own people did this. Hospital meant police report. Questions. FBI discovering the mission was compromised. So at 8:39 a.m., arm in a makeshift sling, face pale, world tilting, she walked into Kovac Industries. Like nothing happened. Like her arm wasn't broken. Like her handler hadn't just sent men to hurt her. Maintain cover. Complete mission. Those were the rules. But when Kovac looked up and saw her, every mask he'd worn for 15 years shattered in 1 second. Conference room. Now. Ice-cold voice. Command, not request. Door closes. Locks. Who did this? Not a question. Demand. I fell. Don't fucking lie to me. First time. Ever. Profanity. Reveals his terror. Let me see it. She hesitated. Elena. Her first name. Weapon and prayer. Let me see. She extended her arm. He examined it. Gentle, clinical, furious. His thumb traced the break pattern. This wasn't an accident. This is a spiral fracture. 45-degree torque. Deliberate. Professional. How do you know? Because I've seen this 17 times. 12 enemies. 5 people I failed to protect. His voice cracked. I won't fail again. He called his private doctor. Dr. Morrison. Emergency. My location? 10 minutes. Sir, I can go to regular ER. You're not going anywhere. Morrison comes here. Why? Because I don't trust anyone else with you. The admission hung in the air between them. His hands shook, slight tremor, holding her good hand. I should have protected you. This wasn't your fault. Everything that happens to my people is my fault. That word, my, possessive, protective, everything. Doctor arrived, examined, reset the bone. Through it all, Kovac didn't leave, held her other hand through the pain. Breathe. I've got you. Breathe. His voice, soft, steady, anchor in agony. When it was done, Doctor left. Silence. I thought I'd lost you. You barely know me. I know enough. I know you remember how I take my coffee. I know you notice when I skip lunch. I know you stay late on Thursdays because you know I work late Thursdays and someone should be here if I need something. Beat. I know that in 15 years, you're the only person who's ever made me feel less alone. His hands trembling now, visibly. And when I heard someone hurt you, I wanted to burn the world down. I've killed men for less than what they did to your arm. Her breath caught. Don't. Don't what? Don't start a war over me. Too late. War started the second they touched you. Her phone vibrated. Message from handler. Did Kovac react to injury? Need intel on his response. Urgent. She turned the phone face down, looked at the man breaking himself open for her, and realized she couldn't do this anymore. Whatever this was, the lies, the mission, the performance, it ended today, one way or another. 11:47 p.m., Elena's apartment. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't think. Her hidden laptop, encrypted FBI communication line, pinged. Handler's message. Emergency briefing, tomorrow, 6 a.m. Handler Morrison, decorated agent, mentor, the man who recruited her from Quantico. We've got him. The Castellano meeting, weapons shipment, enough evidence to put Kovac away for life. Her stomach dropped. When? Next Tuesday. You'll wear a wire. Get him to confirm details. I need more time. Morrison's eyes hardened. Time for what? You're getting too close, Torres. I can see it. This is an order. She nodded, numb, returned home, stared at the mirror. Who am I protecting? Who am I betraying? Next day, office. Kovac called her in. I need to tell you something. Her heart pounded. What? The Castellano meeting. It's not what you think. Everything stopped. I know you're FBI, Elena. The world tilted, crashed, shattered. What? He pulled out his phone, showed her the screen. Security footage, her laptop, every message to Handler Morrison, every photograph, every bug planted, her own surveillance photos. Then why? Why didn't I kill you? Expose you? He showed another screen. Bank transfers, offshore accounts, Morrison's name. Your handler's on Volkov's payroll, has been for 3 years. He sent you after me because I was getting too close to exposing his network. That's impossible. Morrison recruited me, trained me. He recruited you because you were brilliant and naive. Perfect weapon. He's been using you to destroy the one person investigating FBI corruption. You're lying. Am I? Call him. Ask about Operation Crossfire. Ask why he buried evidence of Volkov's FBI infiltration. Ask why every case you've built against me conveniently ignores the 23 corrupt agents I've been documenting. Her hands shook. I don't understand. He showed his badge. Real FBI credentials. I'm not the criminal you think I am, Elena. I'm the federal agent who went so deep undercover that half the bureau thinks I've gone rogue. 15 years of building this empire to expose corruption that runs to the top. Marco, too. 9 years embedded. Her mind fractured. My whole life here was hunting the wrong person? Your handler broke your arm. His men. FBI issued watch. I have the footage. He showed her. Clear as day. Morrison's team. The attack. Planned. He needed you scared. Desperate. Willing to push for the Castellano meeting so he could raid it and destroy my evidence against him. Elena collapsed in a chair. Everything I did. Every report. Every photograph. Went straight to Morrison, who buried it or manipulated it. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Would you have believed me?
Or would you have run straight to Morrison and gotten yourself killed? Silence. Truth settling like ash. I had to wait until you saw it yourself, until you felt something was wrong. What do I do now? You make a choice. Elena calls in sick, stares at walls, can't eat, can't sleep, replays every moment. Did he manipulate me too? Or was any of it real? Kovac doesn't push, gives her space, sends daily message. When you're ready, I'm here. Both suffering in parallel, neither whole without the other. World colorless now. Elena. I told myself I was serving justice. My heart knew I was serving lies. Kovac. I wanted to tell her the truth from day one, but trust has to be earned, even between people on the same side. Elena finally answered. Automated voice. Evidence vault access granted. Code Torres Epsilon 7. She followed directions. FBI Evidence Warehouse, Section 7. Unlocked vault using her name. Inside, 17 boxes. Labels. Undercover OP, Kovac, classified. She opened the first box. Reports, photos, surveillance logs, all documenting Kovac's own investigation. 15 years of evidence against corrupt FBI agents. Morrison's name appeared 47 times. Second box, audio recordings. She played one. Morrison's voice. If Kovac gets this evidence to the director, we're all finished. The Torres girl is our best shot. She's loyal. She'll never suspect her own handler. Elena vomited. She called Kovac. I found your evidence vault. I know. I gave you the phone, waited for you to be ready. Why me? Because you're the only person I trust who isn't already on my team. You're FBI, clean record, by the book. If you present this evidence to the director, they'll actually listen. What if I still think you're lying? What if this is all an elaborate, then turn me in. I'll go quietly. But Morrison will destroy those boxes within hours, and 23 corrupt agents will keep operating. The impossible choice. Trust the criminal or trust the handler. But then something happened neither expected. She'd been sitting there for 6 hours. Every document confirmed Kovac's story. Morrison's corruption irrefutable. But the thing that broke her, a note. Kovac's handwriting, dated day 127, the day he protected her from Volkov. She read it through tears. If I don't survive this, make sure Elena Torres knows she was never just a mission. She reminded me why I became FBI, to protect good people. She's the best of us. K. Tears streaming. He knew I might kill him, and he protected me anyway. She ran. Didn't lock the vault. Didn't care. Straight to Kovac Industries, 11 p.m. Building locked. Bypass security. FBI training. Took the stairs. 34 floors. Couldn't wait for elevator. Lungs burning, heart racing. Burst into his office. He was there. Alone. Looking at security monitors. Both breathing hard. Neither spoke for 30 seconds. I need to know one thing. Anything. Was any of it real? The concern, the protection, the feelings? Silence. Heavy.
universe holding breath. Every second was real. Even though I was sent to destroy you, especially then, you were doing your job, being loyal. I couldn't fault you for that. I photographed classified documents. I know. I planted bugs in your office. I found them, left them active, fed Morrison false information. I was planning to arrest you. I know that too. Then why? Because somewhere between the lies and the surveillance and the espresso, you became the first real thing in my life in 15 years. I'm terrified. Of what? That I'm making another mistake, trusting another liar, falling for another cover story. You think this is a cover? I don't know what to think anymore. He stepped closer. Think about this. I showed you evidence that could destroy me, gave you the power to end everything. If this was manipulation, why would I give you the weapon to kill me? She was crying now. Because you knew I wouldn't use it. No, because I knew you deserved the choice. Beat. I've seen you, Elena. The real you. The agent who stayed late to make sure you got every detail right. The woman who noticed when I skipped meals. The person who cared even when caring wasn't part of the mission. That's who I trust. Not the FBI operative. Not Morrison's weapon. You. She crossed the distance, hands on his chest, could feel his heartbeat, racing, terrified. Show me your badge again. He pulled it out. Real FBI credentials. Her fingers traced the metal. Special Agent Kovac, 15 years undercover. 16 next month. That's a lifetime. It is. You've been alone this whole time? Yes. Not anymore. She kissed him. Not gentle, not soft. Desperate, drowning, gasping for air. Waves of relief crashed over them, memorizing each other's truth. Moved like people who'd forgotten what touch without ulterior motive felt like. Every breath saying, "This is real. We're real." Finally, it was proof. Proof she was on the right side finally. Proof he was real. His hands trembling on her face, the way he said her name. Proof she wasn't alone. They were both broken pieces of the same shattered system. Every touch saying, "I see you, the real you, and I'm not afraid." He kissed her like a man remembering how to be human, his forehead pressed to hers. I thought I'd forgotten how to feel anything but anger. Her hands in his hair. I thought I'd forgotten which version of me was real. Tears, trembling, overwhelming relief. They held each other like soldiers who'd survived the same war. Safety, recognition, being fully seen, permission to be broken, permission to be whole. Afterward, quiet, his office floor, her head on his chest, his voice cracked. I've been undercover so long, I forgot who I was before Kovac. 15 years of being someone I hate. 15 years of no one knowing my real name. She felt his frame shaking, not from cold, from release. You gave me back myself, Elena. For 6 months, when you looked at me, I remembered I was still human underneath. Tears shimmered in dark eyes, too proud to let fall. You healed something I didn't know was still alive. Her hand on his face. What's your real name? Beat. Vulnerability naked and terrifying. David. David Chen. She kissed his forehead. Nice to meet you, David. He laughed. Broken. Wet. Real. Nice to meet you too, Elena. Transformation complete. Kovac to David. Operative to person. Finally. Dawn. Still in his office. City waking up outside. What happens now? We finish this. Together. Together? Don't leave me. Not now. I'm not going anywhere. Simple. True. Unbreakable. Morrison will come for us. Let him come. This could destroy your career. I don't care. Elena, I care about the truth. I care about justice. And I care about you. In that order. He smiled. Real smile. Not Kovac mask. Good. Because I need you. For what? To remember who I'm doing this for. Why it matters. I'm here. Always. Always. She walked into that office with a broken arm, broken cover, and broken faith in everything she'd believed. 3 weeks later, she walked into the FBI director's office with evidence that broke the biggest corruption ring in bureau history. You're working late again. So are you. We could go home, order takeout, actually sleep. Or we could finish this case and save 12 agents from Morrison's replacement. Beat. They both smiled. Chinese food at dusk again? Some traditions are worth keeping. Laughter. Peace. Belonging. They'd crossed every boundary, broken every rule, lost everything, and somehow found exactly what they needed. Sometimes the person you're hunting is the only one who sees the real you. The right partnership doesn't erase your scars. It makes them evidence of survival. When you're brave enough to question everything, including yourself, that's when you find truth. Was Elena right to trust David? Team David or Team Morrison? Comment below. Drop A if you didn't see that Morrison twist coming. Which scene broke your heart? The arm break or the name reveal? Tell me in the comments. Have you ever had to choose between loyalty and truth? You're not alone. Share your story. If this story destroyed you, wait until you hear about the housekeeper who discovered her billionaire boss was dying, and the will he left her shattered his entire family. This channel is where justice finds its voice, where broken agents become whole. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case. Comment which story you want next, the bodyguard's secret or the driver who knew too much. Because some stories don't just entertain. They reveal the truth about who we trust and why.